So I'm in Seattle right now. I'm actually at an academic conference, and I wanted to talk about, are you actually a legitimate entrepreneur? And this is something that's important to me. I think about this all the time as I am doing this reciprocity project. So that is the editing platform, sort of a sharing economy model editing platform where you can get feedback on your work. It's got machine learning built into it, a bunch of stuff. We're building more and more every day. And I've been thinking about okay, so this thing is not profitable. And, a lot of people would sort of look at me and say, hey, you're not a legitimate entrepreneur because you don't have a profitable business. And I think that is kind of nonsense if you think about that. It's like, that what I was thinking about, and the analogy that I was thinking about in terms of entrepreneurship, it's very similar to parenting and the way that you think about that. So when you have your first kid, you're thrown into it, and you very much do not feel like a parent for quite some time. It takes a long time before you sort of adjust to that role. I know it seems strange, but all of a sudden, you have a baby, and then you get thrown into this one night. I remember with my eldest son when he was born, and I just got thrown into it one night, and all of a sudden I was like, wow, I'm a parent. But I still did not feel like a parent for a long time, and often I don't feel like a parent. When I'm around my kids, I feel like I'm a parent, but, and many other times I don't. And that's the same thing as entrepreneurship. And I think any of these definitions or how we think about entrepreneurship is that you need to be running this large multinational corporation. You need to have hundreds of people working for you. You need to have a substantial amount of profitability. You need to be growing at a certain rate to be called an entrepreneur. All of that stuff is nonsense. Honestly, if you pick up something and you keep doing it every day and you keep working at it every day, you're an entrepreneur. You are how how it should be, is basically how I'm thinking about it. And what you're thinking about too much, and what I'm thinking about too much, is how other people are perceiving me and how they're thinking about me. And that's a tricky thing. I often think about that a lot. I have these sort of questions of identity. And what do people think of me as a professor? What do people think of me as a sort of half-baked entrepreneur? What do people think of me as a creator? I've got 2 million views on YouTube now. And many different other kinds of platforms. And, it still doesn't feel real. It still doesn't feel like anything. And you just gotta be yourself. And I think that's the key thing, is I sort of view myself as this kind of academic researcher kind of person that's playing around with things, but depending on what's going on in my life, I view myself in different roles. I just came off of vacation with my kiddos. You've probably seen a bunch of those videos on YouTube. You can look those up. We went to Alaska. And, at those moments, I'm dad. But in moments like this, I'm a YouTuber. In moments where I'm thinking about the Reciprocity Project and what to do next and how to get growth and to communicate to people, and I'm an entrepreneur. In moments where I'm thinking about academic research and how this all fits in and what I'm supposed to do, and I'm a professor. I mean, that's the thing. You have to think about, you are completely legitimate in terms of who you are, as long as you view yourself as that. And so what I'm saying is, stop thinking about what other people are viewing you as, and stop getting out of the moment and sort of pondering what is the best possible thing to do and all of that kind of stuff, just start doing it. You just simply have to pick something up. And I think that's the frustrating thing, is people have all of these questions. It's like, how do you become an entrepreneur, or how do you become an innovator, or how do you become this, or how do you become an architect, or a lawyer, or whatever, a physician? You just start picking it up and you start doing it. And I hate to break it to you, but that's really what it is. And that's why education is so important. And that's why I stress that so much on this channel, is that, you know, you might do your undergraduate degree and do really poorly at it. But if you really are a physician, you'd pick up another undergraduate degree and keep going and keep working at it. And you keep pushing at it until you actually get it. So I think that's what I'm trying to say, is you really just got to make it happen. You got to live it like how you think you are. And don't worry about anybody else, because nobody knows who you are anyways. And then you got to make it happen. So I view myself right now as a complete entrepreneur. And I think sometime there'll be hundreds of millions of people watching this. There'll be all sorts of views and all that kind of stuff on this reciprocity project. But I'm still going to be me. And I'm still going to be this normal dad, professor, entrepreneur, researcher, whatever, I don't know, goofy person. And I'm going to try to strive for that. So I think, yes, you are a legitimate entrepreneur. You just got to keep working at it every day.